So thank you all for joining us today. My name is Carrie. I'm Fairfield County's educator. Today we're going to be kind of sharing county news, what's going on, and then we're also going to be talking about batteries and things of that nature. So Katrina, I'm going to popcorn it to you.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the Recycler Roundtable, and thank you, Carrie, for being our go-to Zoom coordinator. And my co-educators, I'm excited to be here. I'm Katrina Carpenter, Education Specialist with Perry County Waste Reduction and Recycling. And I see Tammy to my right, so we'll just hand off to you.
All right. Thanks, Katrina, and thank you, Carrie. I'm Tammy Rogers, Coshocton County Recycling and Litter Prevention, and we really enjoy seeing everybody join us, and hopefully you tell your friends and we'll get some more people on here. So I'll go this way to Carrie, or should I go this way to Verdi? Hopefully I'm pointing in the right direction for everybody.
I think everyone's different.
Verdi, if you want to go, I already kind of did my spiel, so go ahead, Verdi.
Hi, I'm Verdi Abel with Licking County Recycling. I'm the education guy. Glad to have everyone. This is kind of neat, our 5th time, and I think we've got more participants than in the past, so success is in the works here, so that's kind of neat.
That is awesome. Yes, thank you all so much for joining us. We're still getting people. I'm admitting still in the weight room, so it's a great turnout. So today we're going to be having a presentation about batteries. Who's doing it today? I can't remember who's picking up the battery.
I'm doing batteries.
We're counting on Verdi.
I have a lot of things going on right now. I can't remember. So Verdi, lead the way on the presentation.
Let me ask Carrie, just so we're all on the same page, how long is our Zoom participation?
It's going to be just 40 minutes today.
40 minutes. Okay.
Yep. So, and then I'll get a warning for the 10-minute mark. And I'll let everybody know when that is so we can start gauging for questions and things of that nature.
Cool. Well, if anyone has questions as we're going along, obviously, if you've used Zoom, you know, there's a chat feature. Type something in if you want to ask, certainly just jump in and we'll certainly do what we can to answer any questions. Wanted to talk briefly about battery recycling because a lot of people are concerned about batteries. Initially, if we go back in history, you know, the batteries that we know and love came about 120 years ago or something with the traditional kind of looks like the car battery approach using lead and sulfuric acid. And we still use that technology today. And those batteries are crazy recyclable because they contain lead. And that's one reason they're so heavy. Lead is a commodity, just like any other mineral, any other energy source, you know, agricultural products. So it has a value on the open market. Right now, those car batteries that have lead inside, they're worth about $10 each, maybe $12, depending on where you're at. You can recycle those at virtually any recycling facility, scrapyard, or auto parts facility. Again, those have you know, a financial value. And I think most people are familiar with that type of battery, having been around car batteries. Most everyone has at some point in their lives. So those are easily recycled, and they claim, you know, finding research or finding statistics on batteries is really challenging. But there's some information out there that says we produce about 99 million of those batteries a year, and that about 97% of them are recycled. I'm sure there's a few times when they end up in the landfill, but since they have a value, they are recycled perhaps a lot more than other types of batteries. But that jumps us into kind of household batteries, which is what most people are concerned about because through technology of the 40s, 50s, 60s, we found that those types of batteries had a lot of mercury in them, and they put into a landfill, they had potential for contaminating groundwater, the environment in general. Fortunately, in the 1990s, there's federal legislation that basically forced mercury out of the battery business. So modern batteries have at most a trace of mercury, which our environment has traces of mercury everywhere anyway. So batteries on today's market are fairly benign environmentally. I mean, there's other things out there to be concerned about, but mercury is not one of them. There have been dozens of battery formulas developed over the years, and we're in a battery heavy technology cycle right now simply because of electric cell cars and our push to reduce our carbon footprint. So batteries are hot on the research field right now, which is good. But when we do that, obviously we end up with a byproduct, which are end of life batteries. And cars that were developed, we'll say in the year 2005, those batteries have come to the end of their life, and those car batteries are not finding a home for recycling. And there are pushes right now in the manufacturing world to recycle those batteries. So there's light at the end of the tunnel, and hopefully that will not be an issue in the next couple of years. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But as far as your household batteries, the car batteries are easily taken care of. The energy or the power batteries for electric vehicles are slowly coming around for recycling. But a lot of people are concerned with batteries more like this, just your typical AAAs, AA's, CDs, 9 volts, all the things that run our household items. And those are recyclable, fortunately, throughout the country. But since there aren't very many commodities in here that pay for the recycling, it does cost. And we are fortunate here in our part of Ohio that we are home to one of the, if not the largest, battery recycling facility in the country, and that's Retrieve down in Lancaster in Fairfield County. They have, at least recently, claimed to have recycled over 25 million pounds of materials in their existence. They have a facility here in Ohio and also one in British Columbia. And they have a process to actually crush these batteries, no matter what size they are, and retrieve the various components. Now, the actual recycling isn't the issue, it is transportation that a lot of times is the cost, because batteries are heavy and we produce, there's another estimate, I'm kind of a statistics junkie, but an estimate of 10 billion of these things being produced every year around the globe. And if you ballpark of 10 batteries per pound, we might be looking at, 1 billion pounds of discarded alkaline batteries every year. So anytime we can recycle them, it's a good thing. So again, back to recycling here in our solid waste district, since Retrieve is located in our district, we can recycle a little bit easier than if we were elsewhere in the country. So all 4 of our offices, Fairfield, Licking, Perry, and Coshocton, all 4 of us have green boxes to collect batteries. We collect them here at our office. We did have them elsewhere in the county, but we found they were being abused. We found all sorts of electronics in there that we couldn't handle. We even found firearms ammunition in one time. So we have restricted that collection to here at our office, and the other offices can interrupt here at any time, and we'll go through and say how they're recycling locally. To recycle, if you're a consumer and want to recycle at our facilities, any of your traditional alkaline battery, which is probably the most common, whether it's a 9 volt or a AA, AAA, a C or a D, those are the most common sizes. Those don't have to be what's called insulated. In other words, the terminals can be just like this, and drop them in the box or bring them to our office. Now, once you get above a 9 volt battery, the rules change as for other formulas. So anything above a 9 volt needs to be what they call insulated, which means take some traditional clear, no colored tape, clear tape, and seal them up. So common batteries you're using in your flashlight, your smoke detector, those types of things, your various toys, probably don't need to be insulated. Any of your traditional AA, AAA, C, D, or 9 volts. Now, once you get into rechargeable batteries, you're probably looking at a lithium-based battery. And lithium is a different formula that has the potential, certainly not common, but it has the potential of shorting out and actually starting a fire. There was a plane caught on fire at one point due to lithium batteries not being insulated. So for public transportation in the United States, which includes our system, those batteries, whether it's lithium ion or lithium metal, have to be taped up, again, with clear tape and sealed so that the terminals are not exposed. Now, another option is to put each one individually into a small Ziploc bag. Again, choose what's best for you, but they do need to be insulated. A lot of the button cell batteries, quarter size batteries, you hear them referred to as different things. These are used in certain electronic devices as well as hearing aids, the small aspirin sized batteries. Those need to be taped up as well because most of those are going to be a lithium metal or a lithium ion. The easiest way to tape those is pull out a piece of packing tape, put it on the table, put all your batteries on it, pull out another stretch of packing tape, put them right on top of it, and they can be sealed up in strips. This one happens to have 4, but it could have more than that if you want. That type of insulation will protect those batteries and be legal for transporting. We do monitor our boxes and make certain that we're doing the best we can to insulate all of those types of batteries that are out there. We can also take typical rechargeable batteries from power tools, those types of things, tape them up. This particular size is a lithium battery. It even says right on the side, lithium. So just simply tape up the terminals on the top once that battery has expired or reached the end of its useful life. Let's go around just very quickly and talk about the other counties as to what they have available as far as drop-off locations. We all use the same system here in Licking County. We drive our boxes down because it's a 25-minute drive or something. But if an industry wants to recycle and needs to recycle, they have to purchase these boxes. They have a 43-pound limit for the size that we are using. There are other sizes. There are boxes specifically for lithium batteries, if that tends to be your focus. And those are all through Retrieve, or you can look up the green box battery recycling online. Easily done. The process is very easy. They come postage paid. Follow the directions, seal them up, and ship them off. And Retrieve processes the material and turns it into raw materials. The steel casing is processed. The internal parts are separated depending on the type of battery that's used. If there's any paper involved, it's separated out. But they are well known, well respected in the community for recycling throughout the country. So based on my screen, which everyone's screen is different, go to Carrie because she is the first on the left side of my screen.
Oh, wow.
It's Retrieve is in your backyard, so to say. Maybe you could give us a little bit of information on that as well.
Yeah, so Retrieve is just, they have 2 locations in Fairfield County. One's in Baltimore, and then the other one's on the Quarry Road in Lancaster. So it's literally right down the street from the recycling center. The plant in Baltimore, that's more of their sorting facility. So that's where they hand sort all of the batteries. They go through all of them for processing. And then from there, they ship it out to other distributors and things like that for the crushing of the grinding. And then the lithium batteries and a couple other batteries goes over to the Quarry Road location. And that's where they go more into the breaking apart, tearing down. So we're really lucky in Fairfield County to have Retrieve as a big industry. I'm always talking to Julie. She's the one that kind of in charge of the Big Green Box program. She's super helpful. I'm always asking her, hey, can this be accepted? How do I package this? If you don't know what to package, or if you're unsure of a battery, the best solution is when in doubt, tape it out. But yeah, they're really lucky. In Fairfield County, we have the boxes kind of scattered. All of our libraries have a Big Green Box. Battery Giant has a Big Green Box for customers. Well, for anyone, public can drop their batteries off. The Record Center has a box as well. And of course, the Recycling Center does too. So people can bring in their batteries at any time. We're happy to take them, but just please, like what Verdi said, just tape them, because some people don't think 20 or 30 batteries is a big deal that's not taped, but it could essentially burn down our facility. So make sure you tape your batteries, please. And then Katrina, you're on my right, so your turn now.
Yes, thank you. That was an excellent overview, Verdi, by the way. Thank you for doing that. And Carrie, that what you said gave us some more insight on, literally kind of how it happens on the ground right there at the two facilities. For us, we have at least 13 locations established for dropping off batteries. The Big Green Box, just like the one that's sitting to Verdi's right, is what we have located around the county. At our location, we accept them. You can go to 3 libraries, Junction City. We tried to strategically place them so they're at north, south, east, west locations within the county. And of course, there's several spots in New Lexington area. But the health department in town, New Lexington, has a drop off. Help Me Grow is getting another box. They moved, and I think they're now behind the senior center. So they have a box. The Children's Services building, they have a box. The libraries are Junction City, Corning, and Thornville that have a box. So Roseville Village has a box where they're at, and also in Crooksville at the pharmacy at Shriver's, they have a box. So that gives you kind of anyone that's listening that's in the Perry County area, that's kind of where we're at. But just reach out to me or Matt, my director at our office, anytime, and we can tell you where the closest one is to you. And that's pretty much what I have to share at this point. So Tammy can say what Coshocton's doing.
So in Coshocton, we have 4 locations. We are in the city of Coshocton at the post office and the library, and then in West Lafayette, post office and library. We also have a box. The engineer's office requested a box. They go through a lot of batteries and different equipment that they use there. So they asked for one, and then we've got one at our county maintenance garage, and that's for, as the maintenance guys are out and about. Of course, there again, there's lots of batteries all over, and alarm systems and smoke detectors and different things. So we collect them that way. I try to coordinate taking boxes when I need to go to, usually when I go to Newark for a meeting. It just seems to work out pretty well. I usually can throw about a dozen to 15 boxes quarterly and get those taken. I use the Baltimore site. It's just a little bit closer for us to do it that way. And it has been, it's incredible to me. It started out kind of slow. Now we are replacing boxes easily every other week at the post offices, and probably at least once a month, if not a little bit more frequently at the libraries as they're opening back up. So it has been wonderful. People are using them. Thankfully, I don't have a lot of issue with things that aren't batteries. Every once in a while, I'll find something. I'm like, was this just in your pocket, or how did, maybe it was an accident. But luckily it hasn't been anything too major. And of course, as Verdi alluded to, we go through those, each box, we go through them, we make sure they're taped, we make sure things are right. It's a very glamorous job, so we enjoy it. I think I speak for all of us when I say that. But it has been very, very beneficial. We recycle a lot of batteries, so that's a good thing.
The best part about this whole program is it's just simply raising that awareness and getting people to think twice about, rather than
Right.
chucking them in the trash can,
Mm-hmm.
they're aware that they have value and potential, harmful properties. So,
and a lot of people, you're right, they just you don't think about it. They just automatically toss that. So if we can stop that automatic toss into the trash, it's a good thing. I think we all try to on our Facebook posts and other things, for example, daylight savings time, that's when you change out your batteries and your smoke detectors and things like that. So I try to make a reminder, hey, don't just throw those in the trash, take them to be recycled. So I think we're all trying to get people to be a little bit more cognizant about how they're dealing with their waste.
One thing to note about the Big Green Box program for their batteries, small batteries unfortunately cannot be recycled in the program. So a lot of times if you have like a laptop battery that's dead, if it was mishandled or overheated or whatever, it will swell. The program's not for that. It's just for plain dead batteries. If you do have a swollen battery though, of course, tape the terminals up, maybe stick it in a bag so it's not leaking. And then I would contact Retrieve Technologies. They have programs out there that they can recycle swollen or damaged batteries too. So that's just kind of like a side note for everyone. I know we have a couple other recycling groups and soil and water groups joining us today too. So that's just something good to know too. If you ever get a swollen battery in hand. I learned that. I took a tour of the facility in Retrieve in Baltimore, and they were telling me, they showed me because I didn't know. I couldn't tell the difference between the batteries, so I had to learn. But that was the best way to learn. And they were telling me about the swollen battery, so that's something to note too. But if anybody has any questions about batteries, feel free to chime on or put it in the chat. We can go around to county news. I'll just go ahead and kind of chip in with Fairfield. We're still doing bottle caps, keep on collecting the bottle caps. Right now, we in total, from the start of the program, we've collected over 1,500 pounds of caps, and we need 2,500 pounds to go left. So keep on collecting the caps for us. We really appreciate it. Other than that, we're in the heart of billboard contests. I just finished up the last couple presentations I had for schools. We'll be putting on a big recycling billboard display in downtown Lancaster. That'll be up in April, and April is litter prevention month as well. So we are going to be, hopefully, we're having a couple of our high school students design some coloring sheets for elementary kids to color, and then they can come and to the recycling center and get a sustainable prize. Other than that, not too much is happening right now. We're talking about Earth Day, trying to get some stuff in the works for that. But with the pandemic and everything, we're just trying to play it safe. I know we will be still doing, last year we did our Earth Day take-home packets and they were really successful, which was great. So we're going to continue that program. So right now we're looking into options, collecting materials and things for that. That's what's going on in Fairfield County. Katrina, you want to tell us what's going on Perry?
Sure. We, as you are, we are promoting and encouraging local youth groups and schools to consider making that commitment to the bottle cap, plastic cap and lid collection project for a community service kind of thing, just to raise that awareness among the youth involved. Sheridan High School just finished almost not quite 3-year project, and they submitted 1,200 pounds of caps to the Wadsworth Company. Plastics are unique, and got 2 hexagonal tables that are, ADA suitable for a wheelchair, because it's a wellness park they're trying to develop there. And they, I think, got 6 4-foot benches as well. We are nearing our deadline on the big oral history defining reuse scholarship project for high schools. Hoping we have lots of entries. We've had lots of financial support from our community groups. We might even have $2,000 to offer for first place based on the money we've received. Solid 1,500, we'll know more here within a couple weeks. Tomorrow's the deadline. Anytime, right up till midnight. Young people, submit, please. It's a lesson you can share, not only for earning that scholarship, but your message, your recording, and your 300-word essay will be archived forever for others to view on the Digital Shoebox. It's a program that's worldwide. Not every single library in the country has it, but it is something you can access and listen to stories. Our topic, of course, is on reuse and sharing that message from the elderly. So with that, I will stop and bow to Tammy because she's to my right.
All right. Coshocton County had a lot of after-school programs scheduled for this month, 5 of them, and due to weather and / COVID, they were all canceled, unfortunately. So I'll keep plugging away with that. Still have all my packets together, still planning, got all of those rescheduled for March and April. Looking forward to some cleanup days coming up in April, early mid-April. And then March is just full of playing catch up. Hopefully the weather cooperates and I can get back into the schools and get in there. I've had a lot of requests. I do worm composting, and so I've had both Rotary and Kiwanis are interested in having me come. And now that it's not 3 degrees, the worms don't care for that weather either. It's getting a little warmer, so I can take my worms on the road, as it were, and that's a lot of fun. They have a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun. So that's kind of what's going on in Coshocton. Oh, interestingly enough, one of our local elementary schools is starting with Plastics Are Unique and collecting bottle caps. So recently shared their Facebook page and hoping to kind of get with them and see what I can do to help get the word out for them to be collecting these and make this beneficial for them. All right, Verdi, it's all you.
Back to me. Well, got a few inquiries lately to come into schools later in the year. They're all tentative because of who knows what's going on, but there's a lot of hope on the horizon. So scheduling a few things there, trying to sort out our fair, which is in August, but of course the 6 months until August, well, it's down to like 5 months, will pass quickly. So we're still waiting for guidance from the state to see if we can have an actual fair, as I'm sure you guys are kind of curious about that as well. On the immediate horizon, I've got a craft kit going out next week using green soda bottles to make shamrock earrings, if I can get them unhooked. Gosh, I brought them here and now they're all. So I'll hold that up to the camera. Everyone can maybe see a little shamrock earring made out of a green soda bottle and a matching really cool necklace, again, of course, I'm wearing dark colors. It doesn't show up, does it? So they're going to get a template of different shamrock sizes to make whatever size shamrock necklace or earring. I have all the earring materials here because I did pop bottle earrings pop can tab earrings a couple of years ago. So I have all the jump rings, as they call it, in a couple of shades of green. We've got the wires, we've got everything you would need to make earrings, and we'll do that project again in the future as well. If you haven't seen those types of earrings, gosh, the pop tab earrings are kind of cool as well. You can get different colored jump rings and get different colored pop tabs, actually, depending on what your favorite beverage might be. But I've got all that, so I'm going to put together some kits to be picked up next week for St. Patrick's Day. Got an electronic newsletter going out to highlight a few things. On the more practical front, we do have some sites being modified in the near future. We had a municipality who demanded we take out our bins, so we're navigating that issue, and we'll have some changes and have to make some changes on our literature and Facebook and website, those types of things. So everything's a moving target, of course, with the COVID situation, but we're doing our best to get out into social media and electronic communication, but still very little movement on school front here, unfortunately, just because of the situation. And I think teachers, knowing a couple of teachers pretty well, they're feeling a lot of pressure to get a lot in over the next 120 days or so. School year will end sooner than later, with recycling information or without. So they're a little anxious to get all of their necessary components in, and recycling's not always high on the list, although we're pushing forward and got a few things on the calendar. So that's a nickel tour of what we're doing here in Licking County. So we're down to like 7 minutes or so. 5 minutes is what my calendar, my time clock says.
Yep, we're at the 5-minute mark.
Yes.
Those earrings are super cool, Birdie. You're quite the crafter yourself.
Well, we'll see. The craft kits are fun to put together. Although it's simply a template with a piece of your favorite soda bottle that's painted or that's colored green. Takes a little bit of finesse to cut them out nicely, but see what happens. See if people like that.
It looks great. I think you did a good job, and I think it looks fun. I'd like to do something like that. If anybody has any questions, feel free to email us or put it in the chat. I know we have only a couple more minutes, so feel free to charm one in right now.
Recycle batteries.
Yes, recycle those. Don't throw those away. They don't need to go in the landfill. Too much stuff is already going in the landfill. Other than that, thank you all so much for joining. We're planning on doing another recycler.
You're muted.
I got muted. Son of a gun. Our next recycler roundtable, I believe we're looking at the
March 11th.
Was it the 11th? That's what we're planning for. So we'll be posting our stuff on Facebook, so stay tuned for that. Moral of the story is, have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much. And recycle right.
Join us next time.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone.
Thanks. Bye. There we go.